Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video, and in today's video we are going to talk about the El Clasico, the tier list, the video that everybody loves to hate or hates to love, whichever one you fall on. But no, we're going to have some fun with this today. I wanted to talk about kind of where I think the meta falls, at least initial reactions, what's changed, who's gotten better, who's gotten worse, who stayed the same, things of that nature. And just kind of talk about it a little bit and have some fun with it. If you disagree with any of these, please comment below. I love the comments on meta tier lists are like the best comments ever because you get angry people and it's really great. So we'll get right into it. The first one I'm going to talk about is Levia. For all you Levia fans, I'm sorry. Levia is now the new Azalea when it comes to meta, in my opinion. She's kind of in her own bad tier list. She's not saying she can't win, or that like really skilled pilots can't have success with her and like make it. But like if someone like Mansant, who arguably is one of the best Levia players in the world, is having a hard time winning in this meta, or even getting close to winning or getting close to top 8, right? It shows you. I'm pretty sure she had the least amount of top 8s of anyone in the field, or close to it. And I think she's just kind of in her own tier list. So if you get upset, I'm sorry, but I think she's in her own tier list. And I don't think either hero is as bad as she is. Kind of looking at best deck, I'm gonna go on both sides of the coin. Right now, it's Fai. Fai is in his own space now. The belittle ban hurts Fai's power turn. It hurts Fai's like nutty, crazy, go nuts, spreading flames, Art of War belittle turn, because basically, you know, the way it worked was you could essentially like kick a blue with Art of War because you knew you play belittle, then you play Art of War at instant speed. Belittle off a tunic, play Art of War instant speed, pitching like a card, any card that you deem is not as useful in that turn, and then you can essentially kick like a bad blue out of your hand if you had it, because you know you're going to go get a Minnowism, right? So pretty nuts turn, because like the way Fai works, at least from my understanding, is like you could pitch, I don't know, you could even pitch like maybe a yellow you have in your hand, or let's say you drew in the 2 blues, you can still belittle, pitch the first blue, Art of War instant, and then go get another blue, and then get rid of that blue with the Art of War, and then you can still crack Mask of Pouncing Links to go get a good red anyway. It's like it just, I don't know the exact sequence, but it kills that turn, essentially, but it doesn't really affect the overall power level of the deck. It just affects the go wide nuts turn, which is a big deal with Fai, but not as big of a deal. I think they should have hit Mask of the Pouncing Links, honestly, to get rid of Fai's power, but like if you're gonna hurt the ice decks, you also got to hurt the thing that hurts ice decks, which is belittle. So I totally understand why they did it. However, I don't think the belittle ban knocks Fai's power level down. I think it just knocks its ability to deal with ice a little bit more, but then ice got worse, so teach their own. I just think that personally the deck did not change, and with Oldheim and with Icelander getting worse, but Fai really didn't get worse. It just took away a tech piece for him. I don't think, honestly, that it did anything. And sorry if you hear my dogs barking. My roommate came home. So, but yeah, Fai is definitely up there. For meta, it's still Icelander and Oldheim. They both got nerfs. They both got hurt, but they're both still the top decks in the format. I'd see them like just not being quite as annoying. Oldheim's kind of the weird one. Maybe Oldheim goes down to solid if for some reason aggro gets really, really, really popular. Like if you see a ton of dash, a ton of like Royal Dramai and stuff like that just going nuts, even Briar coming back and making a resurgence because of hypothermia being gone, things of that nature, you could see Oldheim maybe slip a little bit just because Oldheim's representation is already really low. It was 7% of the meta in PQ week 1. We'll see what it was in PQ week 2. So just because of overall representation, it could drop to solid, but right now it's still a meta deck. It's still, honestly, the second best deck in the format, in my opinion. That doesn't change. What did change, in my opinion, is I think there's 2 decks that kind of go up into the meta discussion now. I think Dash is up there now because with hypothermia being gone, the Icelander matchup is significantly better, and the Amulet of Ice hurts, and honestly, Oldheim's ability to outvalue her with Winter's Wail really just helps Dash. Especially the boost like aggro Dash. I think that's going to be arguably maybe the best deck in the format. Some people might put it up here with Fai. Until I see the results, I'm going to keep it in meta. I still think Fai's a better deck turn over turn, but I think Dash honestly could overtake Fai. We'll just have to see. I want to wait until we see how that meta unfolds. The second deck is Dromai. Dromai is going to get significantly better with Icelander's inability to hypothermia out Dromai, and with the combo hurting a little bit worse with Amulet of Ice and discarding cards. Dromai is going to really shape up the meta, I think, and be even stronger. And then, again, the Winter's Whale not being able to effectively deal with Dromai's dragons as easily. Like, Winter's Whale coming in for 4 really did help on a couple of the breakpoint dragons that have 4 life, or just, being able to clean up those dragons a little bit more efficiently. So, being it, with that, I think Dromai will move into the meta. The one that is top of solid tier, I think, is Dorinthia. I honestly think Dorinthia could be also one that rises, but I think if you see aggro really make a resurgence, like even more so than already is, and you see a ton of Dash, a ton of Dromai, like aggro Dromai, like the royal version, not the royal version, is it royal version? Like the red hot version or whatever, or the less dragon version, and you see a lot of Fai, even a lot of Briar. I think Dorinthia is definitely going to be like possibly even in the meta right now. But right now, I'll just keep her in solid. She's really good. Had a good amount of wins in PQ week 1, and I'm pretty sure she had double-digit wins in PQ week 2. Just my opinion. We'll have to see when the data comes out on Friday. But she's definitely at the top of solid tier. And that's where I have her. Same thing with Bravo. Bravo's going to move up a little bit just because people might switch off of Oldheim and go back to Bravo. So I think he'll be in solid tier. Nothing much to say about him. He's thrown up pretty well in PQ season so far. Week 1, he had pretty respectable stats, so definitely a solid hero. Reinar was up there as well. Excuse me. And then another one that's obviously Briar. These are kind of like the no jokes, right? Like obviously they're going to get better. And then the final one is Viserai. I think Viserai was really solid as well. I also think Viserai moves up because of the bans. It really hurts their ability to hypothermia as Mob Skies turns. It really hurts the ability to slow him down a little bit more because of Winter's Whale not being able to do as efficiently. The Belittle package does hurt Viserai a little bit, and it hurts Briar, but honestly, they just go back to playing the way they used to play. Viserai actually doesn't hurt as much, but Briar kind of does because a lot of people were doing that Belittle Briar build. But I just think Briar goes back to playing the way she did before, especially with hypothermia out. So, like, my solid tier probably goes like this, I would say. Honestly, I might even put Reinar above Briar just based off meta, but we'll keep it at this. And then finally, obviously, in the solid category, I think Lexi's in there as well. I think Lexi's probably like right here. You might actually see more and more Lexi. If Crown of Seeds would have gotten banned, which I think it should have, regardless if it's legendary or not, Lexi would have rose heavily because the Oldheim matchup gets a lot easier for her. However, with Crown of Seeds still being a thing, and with Dromai possibly rising, I think it's going to make Lexi's life a little bit harder. So if Dromai rises a lot and she has dragons and stuff like that, that makes that Lexi mad. Playing Lexi really risky. You basically have to hope you avoid Dromai because it's not fun. Ranger into Dromai in general is basically a near auto loss if they are a competent Dromai player and they don't get abysmal draws. They just win. So overall, it's a little bit harder. In the playable category, I have obviously Kano, Katsu, Bolton, and Azalea. All these are good. I probably would put them, if I had to put them in order of consistency, right? Like if we look at the stats, right? Let's just look at the stats for a second because people keep downplaying Katsu, which I understand that. But like if we look at the metagame stats and we just look at top 8s, right? Like Azalea had 7 top 8s. Bolton had what looks to be 12 top 8s. And then we have Azalea, Bolton, Kano, and Katsu. Kano had what looks to be 18 top 8s, and Katsu had 11 top 8s. So it kind of went, Bolton and Katsu were 11 and 12. Azalea was at 7. Kano was at 18. So I think Kano is at the top of playable. I just think right now with people are literally, since they're teching for Icelander with AB, they're also teching for Kano. Like they're thinking about Kano more. And I think you have to be a really, really skilled Kano player to win. I mean, we had 1 Kano win, 1 Katsu win, 3 Bolton wins, and no Azalea wins. So I think it goes Kano. Honestly, probably Bolton's a little bit higher than Katsu right now. Katsu, and then probably Azalea is where I'd put it. I think Katsu's going to do better with some of the bans. Hypothermia really changes the Icelander matchup because before you couldn't really use Kodachis, or you could, but you're taking a risk. You couldn't she could hypothermia, or Oldhim could just play hypothermia on your turn, and you couldn't really use combo cards, or you could, but you had to be careful when you use them. It screwed up your sequencing. With hypothermia being gone, it severely helps the Icelander matchup because Katsu already runs a good amount of blues anyway, usually 15 to 18 in most decks. Even in the Kitty Katsu version, they're running 12 to 15, so like not too bad. I think Katsu's in a slightly better position than Azalea. It depends. So at a normal PQ level, I think personally Katsu is in a better spot. When you talk about like the top players, like people that really know the deck, I think Azalea is ahead because some of the top Azalea players are just nuts. But for now, we'll put it like this. Arachne is still in Levia tier. I know Arachne won 2 events. I watched the deck tech. I personally think that the player played the deck perfectly, but they also avoided every bad matchup they possibly could. Like every bad matchup for the most part. They basically avoided all the meta decks, which, I mean, that's how PQ seasons go sometimes. Sometimes you have to avoid those decks. So Arachne is still not good against people that know how to play against it. It's really bad against like super go wide aggro. You can have all the fence reactions in the world, but if players like Katsu and Fai and even Reinar are taking away cards from your hand, or playing attacks that your defense reactions really overblock too much on, it kind of doesn't matter. So that's just my opinion on that hero. I want the hero to be good. I do think at the tip top, if you can avoid the top meta, then it becomes playable like in this range. But right now, it's still in Levia tier. This is probably where I have everything right now. I think that this is fair. Personally, this is where I would put it, and based on, I think the data backs that for PQ week 1. We'll see how PQ week 2 went. I do think personally, looking in the PQ week 2, I think you'll see Dash had more wins than she did the week prior. I think Dromite probably will have more wins. I think Dorinthia will have more wins. Briar will have more wins. Basically all of these but Bravo. I think Bravo probably stays in the same area that it was before. But yeah, this is where I have it. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you agree, if you don't agree, totally fine. Just kind of for fun and kind of see what my thoughts were on the meta versus the communities. So yeah, if you like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If not, go to our Flesh Broker, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. Join the Discord down below. We have over like 315 members now. It's pretty nuts, and we're growing every day. And yeah, let me know what you would like to see from me. For the content, I have a bunch of videos in the shoot. I can't wait for Outsiders. I have so many ideas for Outsiders with the 3 classes. But anyway, yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Stay safe this week, and I'll see you all tomorrow on TCG Talk. Thank you all so much.